So what's up guys, I'm Miles and today we're going to be trying to fix the aux in my G37. So for those who have one, you might know that if you don't have navigation on it like I do right here, if you don't have nav, well, you're kind of fucked if you want an aux on an Android phone. Now you can use stuff like this, which I mean it's been fine, but when I bought this thing I really wanted the Bose sound system because of the sound quality. But now if I have to use this kind of defeats the entire point. So I bought a bunch of goodies off of Amazon and we're gonna be trying them out, see if I can work something out. So the goal here is to splice off into the Sirius XM tuner and, you know, using this particular cable over here, if it kind of focuses. So this is bare wires to a TRS plug, and then the rest of it is pretty superficial, especially this. I just wanted to try it out and see if it works. This is called a ground loop isolator, and this is supposed to remove the engine sounds maybe that could arise, that could be picked up by this cable traveling through the car. Because I'm gonna splice off into the trunk. I'm pretty sure some people have done it behind the actual radio, but I already had this laying around at my place, so I just figured I'd try it out. And this is just an adapter to go from USB, because my phone doesn't have a 3.5 plug on it, into this, and we're gonna see if this works. Now if it does, supposedly it's gonna sound better than the FM adapter, but the sound's gonna be lower. So just want to say that first of all. And before you make any work on electrical stuff, just remember, unplug, like just undo the negative pole on your battery, just to make sure that you won't short anything or get shocked or whatever. So just a quick reminder before we get into it, I have an Android phone. If you have an Apple phone, I'm pretty sure you don't even have to bother with all of that. The stock USB in the car already works, even if you don't have navigation. But I've got an Android phone and I do not have nav, as you can see right here. So we're gonna try to see if I can work something out. So I'm pretty sure what we're looking for in the trunk is this plug right here. If I can, let me try and show you the white one right here. So we're gonna splice into 4 wires of that. If I can show you a bit clearly. We're gonna splice off into 4 wires, which are the plus minus of each side of speakers on the car. And I just started by getting this little clip off so I can move it freely a bit, and I'm gonna take the connector out of the Sirius XM tuner, which is this thing. I'm in the trunk right now, so it's on the passenger side over here. For the sedan, for the coupe, I don't know, but you can find this info on different forums, which is where I took this strategy from, and I'm trying it out. So here's what it looks like once you get it unplugged. Now what we want to do here is we want these 4 wires over here right on the side, so the green, red, black, and white that are right over here. Now we won't cut them off right here, because if you ever want to put it back together, you're gonna have a hard time if you only give yourself like not even an inch of wire left on the plug. So I'm probably gonna cut off the shielding, I guess I can call it, over here, and try and splice off from these guys, because from what I understand, this is the satellite module, and it sends the sound into that. And now, like the connector shows, like the diagram shows, these are your plus minus for each side of the car's speakers. And the goal here is to send the phone's sound signal into these wires so that you can have your aux. So here's what our plug looks like, and like you can see in the diagram, we need these 4 wires on the left here. So the red, green, white, and black, we're gonna So here first of all, I wanted to start here just to give myself some room on both sides if I wanted to put it back like original. But they're kind of stuck together further in here. So you see they're either in this blue one or a gray one like this, kind of in their own wire thing. So I decided to just, start from here, start from the top, and I'll just cut into that. And I'm probably gonna split them off about here, just to have some space on both sides to strip them. And if I want to put them back like original together in the future, I can still do it. All right, so depending on what wire you have over here, so I've got a TRS, which means that these three parts that are separated by this little black stripe, we have two pluses and one minus. All right, so two pluses, two positives, and one ground. Now I keep pointing in this one, but I'm not sure, but just know that there are three different parts, which means that I have one wire for each. What I did, this wire goes up, at the end we have three wires. We can see them. So red, black, and white. For this one, the black was the negative, the white was the positive for the right channel, I'm pretty sure, and the red was the positive for the left channel, which means that you can just link them up with whichever one of these it is. Right now I've got tape on it, so this is just a temporary setup. I had to test it out. I just tested it out and it works. Now, one thing you need to know, so yeah, this is just gonna work like the usual aux you would have in a normal car that isn't a dumb Infinity, but you just have to put your radio in XM mode and just leave it on the preview channel, so like the 0 channel, I guess you could call it, where normally there are kind of ads and stuff to get you to subscribe to Sirius XM. Well, you just leave it on that. Crank your volume up because it is a bit lower in volume, I feel like, but other than that it sounds great. So what I'm gonna do now, that I tested it out, and I would recommend testing it out just to make sure you've got your wires in the right place before you want to solder them together, which is what I'm gonna do now. And yeah, I'm gonna say it again, make sure you disconnect your battery while you're working on this. You don't want to short circuit some stuff or break other stuff, because we need the Sirius XM module intact, because as you see here, I just cut the ones I needed for the sound. The other ones, they need to stay intact because this thing is going to be plugged in after we're done. We're just going to plug it back in the Sirius XM module like nothing happened, because we want it to still work. We want the car to still recognize it if you want to be able to go on the Sirius XM like channel, I guess I could call it, right? So yeah, this is pretty much it. I'm going to show you the rest of my setup, but I guess you can stop here if all you want to do is the basics and then you have your own setup around it. But as you see, as you see over here, I've got a male 3.5 millimeter. Then I have a ground loop isolator that I will show you. Now, I don't know if you need it, but I'm gonna have one. And then after that, I've got a, pretty sure I've got a 15 feet normal 3.5 male to male wire. And then at the end of it, I'm gonna have this thing like I've shown you earlier in the video. Now, if you already have some stuff laying around, like this I already had, and then I already had the extension. So honestly, you can get by pretty cheap, and this is way cheaper than the alternatives that you have, where you've got like a $300 $300 like plug-in thing for the Bluetooth. So if you're a bit manual and able to do stuff on your own, this is going to be a good idea in my opinion. If you stayed because you wanted to see what I actually do, I'll show you for this wire. For these two, it's already done. So what I do is I just twist them like this. I don't know if it's gonna focus, and then I solder them, and then I put a shrink tube over them. So these are the things that shrink when you eat them up. And yeah, I put the two grounds together. I don't know if this matters I'm pretty sure this matters to the level of like the sound quality, but I don't know if it's gonna be noticeable. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But as long as it works and I get an aux in my car, I'll be happy. So yeah, let's do this. So yeah, real quickly, here's what I ended up with. You've got the three, I guess, shrink tubes over here with the soldering underneath them, and then I've got the 4 wires that we just cut off. And now I wanted to use electrical tape, but it did not stick on there, so I just used red duct tape, and we're gonna plug this back in to the module and then reconnect the battery, and then we're gonna try and give a listen to this thing, see if it works out. And so after that, for now I decided to just put it through this keyhole thingy behind the seats, because this is a sedan, just to remind you. Then I decided to just put it through near the seatbelt hole, and I pass it through under the seats, a bit under here. And this isn't really a permanent fix, but just like for the near future, because I'm kind of getting tired of messing with this. And then you just pass it through along here. I decided to just like wrap it up because I've got plenty of wire. Actually, this was 15 feet, I'm pretty sure. So if you want to use the same route, just know that you can go probably shorter, but you just have to be careful not to trip in here if you've got friends and stuff in the back. And then you just use whatever you want to have your connection to your phone, and that's it. So yeah, just to give you a bit of inspiration if you don't know where to put it through. But ideally what you would do is probably just remove the rear seats and pass it through behind the upper seats in a hole, like in the frame, and probably put it under the door sills over here, and just bring it under maybe the passenger seat and up here. But yeah, as long as I have music, I'm happy. So just so you know, it sounds a bit, the volume is a bit lower than what you would get, I'm pretty sure, with a CD or the radio normally. But the sound quality is there. It's way better than what I used to have with the FM adapter. And yeah, it sounds great. I'm happy. And this is how you get an aux cable for an Android phone on a G37 without navigation. So yeah, thanks for watching.